she was 11, things changed a bit for us because that was the first time the Canada Winter Games was going to introduce female hockey in 1991.
Yeah.
So she was 11, we're still in Saskatchewan, and we caught wind of this camp happening that Hockey Saskatchewan was having. And we just heard about it, just some conversation in a rink. So we did some phoning and just said, you know, what is this about? Well, they were trying, at that point in time, I think every province, except perhaps Ontario, which had a lot of players there, they were just trying to ID the female players. Who's playing hockey out there? So we did take Katie to a camp in China. But before we went, we said, look, we don't know what this is about. They're saying it's an ID camp. There's also Canada Games coming out. It could be a tryout, but remember, we don't have a clue. So we get there and we find out there's girls from, I think she was the youngest.
Oh, by far.
At the camp, though, no, she was supposed to be the youngest of
She was the
11.
youngest.
And there was girls up to 18. Even though they would have been too old for Canada Winter Games, they were trying to ID everybody in the province. So we figured this, we say, then we hear, well, this is a bit of a tryout as well as ID camps. We said, okay, whatever happens here, remember, you're only 11. And you're up against their 17, 18-year-olds. So she goes on the ice, and in the first couple of sessions, we start to realize that her skills are pretty good. And skill-wise, to fit right in. But there was an age gap in there. So again, our job, I think, as a parent at that point in time was to caution her, don't put all your hopes into this, because it may not happen. You are young, and there's a big difference in there. So we encourage her to do well. And then, that summer, things changed for us, and we ended up moving to Calgary because we had employment opportunities there. So we left Saskatchewan and moved on to Alberta. Your turn. We're going to do a tag team. We're not going to read, we're just going to try to.
So we went to Alberta. We contacted Hockey Alberta, and they were in the same process. They were trying out for Canada Winter Games, so we drove there to Olds, I believe, a small town in Alberta, just north of Calgary, and she attended the tryout. Things looked good, which we felt good about because she really was starting to get her heart set on trying to do this thing. That year in Calgary, just to show you women's hockey, that year in Calgary there were 2 girls teams, 1990. Haley played on one. There was a bantam team from age 12 to 15. They stretched the ages so they could get enough girls to play.
18. Well, whatever their oldest was, 18 at that time.
Yeah, it was, it was and Jane, our youngest daughter, played on an Adam team, which was 6 to 10, kind of stretching that way. And they played in the boys' league. There was no other girls' team, so they lined up and played in the boys' league. And interesting there, and she played with the older girls. She more than held her own. She did very well. And then things started to happen media-wise, and there's a real lesson to be learned there, I'll tell you. Media became involved, and as she went to Canada Winter Games, the team did well, they won, and she became noticed, and then things happened. So a caution to parents right away. Don't get snowed by the media, I'll tell you that. There's pictures that we gave out, we loaned out, they wanted photographs. We never got back. They make requests on your time that you think, oh, well, okay, we'll come. You don't have to do that. You do
we learned the hard way.
We learned the hard way. Like we were very calm. Oh, yeah, so we'll bend our schedule. No, they'll bend their schedule. Don't ever kid yourself. They will come and do it at your convenience. Anyway, so a few things happened like that along the way, and it's even today. It's an issue for Haley. If you were to talk to her in the media and all this kind of thing, there's things happening there that you may want to really look at. At this time, also, what surfaced was the whole girls playing hockey in a male sport. The biggest problem, one of the biggest problems that girls hockey had in Calgary was getting ice time, because ice time was very short in Calgary at that time. And it was up to the local associations, and some of them were not willing to give up the ice time from the boys who were going to be the stars, you see. and that the girls had it. And I think my wife, I mentioned to you this morning, we lived in Northwest Calgary. For my youngest daughter, Jane, for her team, we had to drive 30 miles across the city to get to Southeast Calgary in the very southeast corner, because that association was the only one that let the young girls play there to give them ice time. And Haley played a little bit toward the southeast, another quadrant quite far away. It took years before we were able to get a team in the Northwest to play, and it was one of the problems.
And our son was sandwiched in the middle. So he often did more of the friend trips than the girls, because we didn't have to drive two directions as the girls, and friends would have to walk in along.
And even at a younger age, when Haley was 8, she wanted to attend a hockey school in Swift Current, stand-down hockey school. And he was a bit of a local legend for whatever. And they said no, they would not take a girl in the hockey school. They were going for boys. So we didn't threaten human rights issues. We just told them that we kind of thought that they should let her come and try out. So they did, and it was hilarious. The parents spent the first 3 days trying to figure out who the girl was, and they couldn't really, because she could skate, she could hold her own. The boys up there, they really had no clue. And I think the only way myself they found out was that she got dressed in a little storage room off to the side. They finally tracked her down that way, but they couldn't figure it out. And I mean, it wasn't. She just at a young age, and she'll tell you now, she was out to improve her game. I mean, to me later on, that's no different than her going to Sweden or Finland to play or whatever. She's always pushing herself, okay, at a young age. So that was a characteristic right away that we noticed that I really liked, because she just did, sort of the big fish in the small pond. She wanted to get out and above. So that came from her. We did not push her to anything.
Answered my part. That's okay.